being new to this, it was a real learning curve of like how to proceed and know that I'm in charge of this thing and nobody's going to run over me.
Hey man, lovely to meet you.
Hey, lovely to meet you as well.
So tell me, how did the 30 day go?
So it went well, better than what I expected. This was the first time that I had done something like this, but I was, very blown away about how smooth it went, how you were on the call every time, that was just really, really, really good experience.
Fantastic, man. So tell me a bit about yourself anyway. I saw were you in the Navy? Are you doing some running and stuff? I saw it on your Facebook profile. So tell me a bit,
Yeah, I was in the Navy for about 8 years. Got out. I was a gas turbine mechanic, so I worked on the ships of the smaller boats. Basically, I just got out and I wanted to do something else. So I was a realtor for 1 year after I transitioned out of the military. And then after that, I was like, I need something different, So that's when I came back to government contracting. And I've been doing that since 2023. So this is going to be my second full year in government contracting.
Right. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So did you do a course before or something, or?
I heard Wes reference Jason White as his mentor, and that's definitely my mentor as well. So I took his course, right? The same course Wes took, right? But I felt like there were, some things that I needed personally to kind of take me to the next level. And that's when I've been following Wes for a while, and that's when I came across the 30-day challenge, and that's how I got here.
Okay, man. Yeah. Okay. So you did a little bit in government contract with Jason White. You learned sort of, I suppose, how to submit them or certain stuff, and then you just felt you needed a bit more. You followed Wes. You thought, I like him, I connect with him. And then we put a 30-day challenge out there only a few months ago, and you were like, I'm in.
Yeah, it's no brainer.
Right. Okay.
Yep. No brainer. Yep. But yeah, it's just like Wes is just, I feel like he's just one of us, he's very relatable for sure. So his story is just one that resonates with me. And then that's why I'm just like, I gotta follow him. And it's funny though, because I remember this was some maybe like a year and a half ago or something like that. I seen that Wes was on one of our Wednesday calls, and Jason had asked him, "Hey Wes, how many contracts you got?" And at the time, I can't remember how many. I think he had like 12 or 13 or something like that. I was like, "Oh, he knows what he's doing," And then from then, I didn't see Wes back on the call. And then next thing you know, I found him on TikTok, and I was like, "Oh, this is what he's been doing."
I mean, he's got 40, he's won 14. I mean, he's multi-millionaire in government contracting. He's talking it, he's doing it, he's living it.
No, yeah.
He's the real deal. Yeah, definitely. And so you joined the 30-day. So what did the 30-day give you? Like, what were you missing and what did it give you? You said it was specifically something for you.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I feel like I was missing the speed aspect of it. And the 30-day challenge definitely emphasized speed and the frame of mind around speed in government contracting, because we all know that it's it's a numbers game, right? So just emphasizing the speed. And I like the way the videos prompted speed and how to get around in the frame of mind of how to submit. And I think what I was running into before I found Wes was trying to, get 2-3 quotes, right? But then when you try to get those quotes, you may not be able to get them all, So I think I was hindering myself in that way, where I'm still making calls and I'm going down a rabbit hole because I'm trying to get multiple quotes to price it out. But then when you like, hey, just submit what you got. Hey, you get one quote, and you all teach certain ways to go about it, and that's what I was missing.
Nice. And did you feel we gave you lots of variety on sort of like how to do it, little twists and stuff, so you can find your way? Did you find that, or did you feel it was more template straight online? How did you find the training?
Yeah, so I was telling my wife, right? After the first week, I got off the Friday call. I'm like, yo, babe, I'm at the point where they covered everything I already know. So the first week, I'm like, I know all of this. What am I going to learn these next 3 weeks? And that's what really blew my mind, because after that Friday call, because I'm taking notes, acting like a student again and taking notes like I don't know anything. When I got off that Friday call in the morning and I sat back, I'm like, I know everything about what they taught so far. And the twist to it was I like Coach Chrissy and how she emphasized the products, because that's something that I've never been taught before or exposed to before. And just seeing how she's been successful in that particular portion of government contracting really opened up my eyes. And I took a page full of notes on her segment, because it was new to me. I all I've done was services and stuff like that, but the products was new. So I'm like a kid in the candy store,
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you like Coach Chrissy? You like the way she takes product apart? How her approach to bidding on them? That was a win. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
What were the other high points? What were the other sort of like takeaways that you really enjoyed? I mean, I love the fact that you say by Friday you learned to it, because that was the whole theory of mine, was to teach you in. Wes and I were chatting about it. The 5-day we used to do was kind of like the first 5 days. So it was like, get everything in you, because for you to submit 20 by the end of the week, by the end of the challenge, we want you to know how to submit them by the end of the first week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like we're not holding anything back. Like, let's not tell them the secret bit until the last day, and then we'll ask them to spend $10,000 with us. No. That's not the way we roll. We roll with give you all the information, win a contract, and to do that, we need to get you to 20. You've got to know how to put them in.
Yeah.
So I like that came across like that, because then week 2 was all about systems and tactics, right? How to do it quicker, how to just kind of take the knowledge and apply it. And then I like, Christy came in then on the Friday, and then we had Coach Sheena come in and Sean come in. And did you enjoy all those bits?
Yeah, I did actually. And I really like the mindset pieces that you all put into the how to, because there's how to, and you can know the how to, but what's the frame of mind around to get to the how to when things get a little rocky. And I like how you all sprinkled in the mindset pieces and stuff like that. For example, the Slight Edge, I actually got the audio book. I took your advice. You say, hey, I'm more of an audio person, and I am as well. And I'm like, let me see, if this thing is on, an audio version. And I got it on audio. And that book really helped me frame my mind around doing the mundane things, as well as, going about doing things that are easy to do and easy not to do, But that was really good as well. The mindset pieces that were sprinkled into the how-to training.
Amazing, fantastic. So how many did you submit?
Yeah, so I submitted 8 out of the 20. And just for context, before I did this challenge this year, I had only submitted 2, right?
Wow. Okay, so look at that. You had the knowledge from that's a great win for Wes, and
yeah. So I had only submitted 2 this year, right? So and then I ended up stumbling upon Wes's 30-day training, and it just lit like a fire under me. And I actually got it right here.
I was gonna say, is that your?
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, the reward. So that was kind of new to me as well, like having it printed out and actually tracking and what I'm going to get. So right here, there's this nice steakhouse that's over here, and I had written it down, and I'm like, man, I want to try this place because I heard raving things about it. And I'm like, I'm gonna take my wife out, So I put that as it, and I got a picture of the steakhouse and a picture of a tomahawk steak. And I'm like, hey, I'm trying to get to this tomahawk steak, but I got, a little derailed because me and my wife went on vacation the last week. So, but anyways, but I'm still shooting for that. But yeah, that was really good. It's kind of like dangling the carrot in front of the horse,
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Oh, wow, awesome. So you got 8 in. So what's what's the plan now? What's next steps? You're gonna just keep going? I mean, what are you doing in your daily routine? What have you taken from the 30-day that you can carry forward?
Yeah, so the daily routine, basically like setting out little wins throughout the day. Well, biggest thing that I learned was volume for sure, and that's how you get the speed. But what the volume does is set you up to get those little wins to keep going, and that's a big thing that I took away from you, Tom, for sure. And I even wrote it down on my vision board. You know you can't see it, but I wrote it down. But the wins is the activity that you do during the day,
Yeah.
which is for me is the cause, right? And my goal is to just get better from the day before. So I track my calls, um, and go from there. So can you see it? Oh yeah, so I track my calls,
Nice.
and basically if I do 5 calls on one day, next day I'm trying to do 9, right, or more. And then so yesterday I did 11, day before I did 9, day before I did 6. So it's just ramping up and just getting myself back in that groove. So that's just what I'm doing for myself in order to keep me on track, and not necessarily get caught up in getting the quotes, but more so about the activity.
Hey, what's up? It's Dr. West here. I hope you are enjoying the content that we got coming at you. Give me 2 seconds. Don't skip it. Oh yeah, you can't. Listen, my students have been awarded over $60+ million in government contracts. Y'all, I only been coaching about a year and a half. So listen, if you want to get part of the program, you want to be part of the program, you want to join and find out what we got going on, here's what I got for you. Go to www.thecontractingblueprint.com. We are now opening up spots for phone calls. So what we do is we have a free 45-minute hour phone call with myself and my team members. Now I can't be on every call, so I do have team members that take some of the calls as well. But book a free phone call. We'll answer your questions on government contracting, the middleman style, and we will tell you about our program and our coaching platform. And you can make a decision if you're a good fit to work with us, if we're a good fit to work with you. I look forward to speaking with you guys on the phone, and my team looks forward to speaking with you guys as well. And we'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Definitely measure the activity 100%. That's exactly right. And you, by doing that, by even just saying those last 3 days you did those numbers, you in your own mind, you're like, hey, I've done more. I've done more the last couple of days. I can feel good about that. I've got a benchmark of what is okay and what's better. So then you build up to 20 calls, and then the other thing is to remember is to stay consistent. So and I know you know that, right? But so don't burn out. If you feel like internally that you're just at that level, then just hold that level for a week or a few days. Do you know what I mean? Don't always try and beat yourself. Sometimes hold it, because suddenly the sort of stress drops off, and it's just like, well, that was easy to do 10. Rather than be struggling. And a lot of that is because if you're over brain powering the call, if you're thinking so much about the solicitation, what I should say, what I shouldn't say, do I need that? Do I need that? What did they say? And it's like, oh, that was a hard call. Or you get a knockback and you just suddenly feel negative about it. You think, oh, I'm just going to leave it for a minute. And then you don't quite hit your number. So just try and stay consistent. Like it's like, when you go to the gym or you do your training, you can't just keep loading the weights up. Because one day you're going to be lifting a whole car, and that doesn't happen. Right? It just doesn't happen, right? So there's a point. There's always it's like a step ladder. It's just a point where you sort of just need to just hold for a minute and just really out, and then go do it again.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, so good for you, man. I'm so pleased you're measuring it. That's really important.
Yeah. And then one other thing that I like is actually your story, Tom. Because I don't know if that was a part that was inside of like the whole 30 day, but I think people were asking, and he was like, all right, I guess I'll tell you my story.
Yeah.
But
I was asked, so I was like, okay, look, I'll tell you. It was before the call went live. One of the guys in the VIP were like, hey, we haven't heard your story, and I was like, well, if you want it, I'll tell it to you.
Yeah. And I personally like that because we didn't really know too much about you. Well, at least I didn't. And I'm pretty sure if people were asking, they didn't know much about you, right? And not saying that, it detracted from anything, because you're a nice guy. But once I heard your story, I'm like, oh, he know business. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, he's not just a nice looking guy with nice hair and an accent. He actually knows, business. And that's what really for myself really allowed me to like hone in on you, like, hey, do these certain things. And I'm like, all right, Tom said this, and I'm like, let me just write this down, because he knows what he's talking about, So that's just one takeaway. I would probably sprinkle that inside of the 30 days, just to give a little bit about yourself, because once I heard that, it kind of held more weight.
More respect for me, I
suppose. Yeah, right.
Respect, because rather than as a random bloke, you're like, oh, okay, I know Wes's story, I know Coach Chris's story, but what's Tom? Okay, I'll take that back. No, that's
yeah.
The one thing as well, and this is true, like that feedback's amazing, is always be a sponge. Keep learning. Like I'm always learning to do it better, and that's the real winners in the world. Genuinely treat everything like they're 12 years old and they're excited and just can't wait to learn everything. Like it's this young mind. You've got to, like, I'm 44 years old nearly, and I could easily tell you I've done it before, this is what you got to do. But the way you stay excited, the way you get further, is you suck up every bit of the world that's out there for you too. So I'll take that, absolutely, and I'll bring my story to the front. I appreciate that a lot. That's great.
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah, amazing, man, amazing. So you haven't won one yet, but we're gonna win one. You still confident you're gonna win one?
No. So I haven't won one within this challenge, but I've been awarded 3 contracts already. But yeah, so like even before I joined, so I had won 2 on my own, and then my third one, I won that one on my own too, but I had to actually give that one back to the government.
Okay.
So that was another experience that I went through, where it's like, well, my sub pulled out, I couldn't find another sub, so then I'm like, let me just give it back before I signed the award letter. So yeah, so I've been awarded two and fulfilled 2 contracts.
Fantastic. And what were they in?
So one. Oh, say that again.
Off the back of learning how to do it with Jason White, you were, because you said you only put like 3 in. So did you win every one you bid on?
No. I said that I won 2. I'm sorry. I submitted 2 this year.
Oh, okay.
Before I found the challenge.
Right.
And then once I got into the challenge, then I submitted 8, and I ramped that up.
Okay.
But I submitted 13 last year and then 10 this year, so I'm at a total of 23.
Right. Okay.
Submitted.
That's really interesting. So you're 23 and you've won kind of 2. So statistically, you're like what we say, 1 in 20. I mean, we actually find it more like 1 in 12. That's actually that's actually in the mentorship program, but we don't tell everybody that, because they'll only submit 8.
Right.
Right. So if we tell everybody submit 20, we know they're going to hit it somewhere. And plus, when they're beginning, not like you've done it a bit, but when they're in the beginning stage, they're going to mess the first 4 or 5 up. Easy.
Oh yeah.
Easy. We've all got to get it wrong, and so we tell them 20, then we've got some leeway. So, but statistically, it's about right. Yeah. I like that.
Right.
Yeah. Nice. And what were they? Tell me about the contracts you won. I know they were nothing to do with our program, but
Yeah. So my very first contract, it was CCTV inspections over on Dyess Air Force Base. Basically, they needed they had some structures underneath of the runway on the airfield, and they needed them to be inspected. So I ended up finding a company who could do it. It was literally only like one company that was big enough that had the magnitude to go in there and do it. But that one, I learned so much about my management style. I learned so much about what could go wrong, what could not go wrong. And me being new to this, it was a real learning curve of like how to proceed and know that I'm in charge of this thing and nobody's going to run over me.
Yeah, but it's a flick in your mind, isn't it? Suddenly it's like, I'm the big dog. This is totally on my shoulders.
No,
saying, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Could you do that? 100% I'm the boss.
100%.
Like just overnight.
Yeah.
And it's like inside you. And once you are that, you can't go back.
You
cannot go back. You will never listen to somebody kind of talk you round ever again.
Yeah, never again.
You're wasting my ears. I'm sorry. I want it black and white. I want to move on. There's no gray area in my answer. It was quite simple. Can you do it? or can you not do it?
Yeah.
What went wrong? And where? Well, you know, it was Bob and Jim, and then I thought you were doing it, and I thought he was doing it. No. Boom.
Yeah. So that was my first one, and then my second one, it was ground penetrating radar inspections over in Baltimore. Never heard of this before at all, and I just so happened to just stumble upon it, and I ended up reading the scope of work, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me just see what I can do, and I found a company who could do it, and that one I was more so like, hey, I'm big dog, like. This is what we're going to do. These are the scheduled dates. And I was more confident in my leadership skills just based off of my experience with my first one. So instead of me asking my subcontractor, hey, when can you go out there? I'm like, hey, this is the schedule that I made. And I took the schedule and I made the schedule and I sent it to the point of contact and they okayed the schedule that I made. So once I got the okay, I took it back to my sub. Hey, these are the days we working. And that's how I went about it. And there was no like workaround. There was no like, hey, DeAndre, I don't think we can do it because you okayed this. All right. So, and that was just the frame of mind of from my first one to my second one, for sure.
Man, it's an instant baptism in business, basically.
Right.
It really is. And you just reborn and you're instantly there. And it's lovely because, I can say it. I've been there and done it. I've ground it out. But when you experience it, then suddenly you're like, yeah, no, it's a knowing. It's a knowing. Do you know what I mean? And so what we try to do is we're trying to get people on the phone to be more confident and stuff. But now you're executing like that. And so when somebody asks you a question or what do I do about the service agreement? In your head, you're like, you write it and you get them to sign it. Otherwise, you move on.
No, yeah, 100%.
Right. What do I put in the service agreement? And you're like, well, you write what you want to get done, and you just get it done.
Right, yeah.
And they overthink it. But it's like when you win the award, the confidence in you means then we'll deal with it. That's why we don't go into the detail of when you've won the award, because the mindset shifts so much, as you know. And you've got to be in that place to be then, right, now, the subby can't do it, go find another one. And the winners, you heard them come on say, well, the subby actually couldn't do the work. So I had 24 hours from a hospital bed, and I got it. I made it happen.
Yeah.
You had the money in your hand because you had the fire in your belly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the difference between experience and coaching. So
there's that too. Gotcha. Okay, cool, man. I appreciate your time, Tom.
All right, Dante. I'll see you soon. Thanks, man.
All right. Take care.